Very good morning team. This is Amir Mustafa. In this video we will be understanding the risk for the software. Whenever a software is released, we should always focus on high risk areas and determine where to get most rewards. So whenever suppose our software development is in the initial stage, we have been given a requirement sheet, and in that point of time we are architecturing the software, which softwares we need to use, which technology we need to use, and other third party softwares we need to use. In that point of time, it is very important to choose the right software. Choosing the right software means that we get the desired feature. Along with that, we get security. So normally when we do development, suppose mostly I develop in JavaScript, Node.js, React.js. So what we do when we did the first feature, the feature we need to now release the feature, create the build. So in that point of time we did the build. Okay, now for the next feature, suppose we implemented second feature, we did the build, it is also pushed. Now our build is pushed in development branch. So now if we want to push from development branch to the staging branch or QA branch, it is very important that we do security testing over there. By security testing, we mean that we should identify what are the risks we can have in those places. So these days what they do that in the application it is a must. No software can be created just by putting software for security. In application level we need to implement security standard, but there are ways that we can use implement softwares for VAPT testing in code pipeline. So what it does, it will not let the build to pass if there is some potential risk. So once we were deploying a software, what it happened that our build failed, and build failed due to they give us errors over there why it failed, but the key was that it failed because of the one dependency we were using, and that dependency was an outdated, not we not will not say outdated, but it was recently compromised package that it is not fully secured. They have updated, so we need to again upgrade to the latest version and push it. So this prevents from potential risk. So this is, we know that a software which we use are paid. If we are deploying in AWS, we will get bills for each service. So it is very important that we keep security in mind. Why just for security? When we are developing, we are a software person. When we develop software, our aim is to develop the software, but there is other complete half. Some people will use the software for their business, for their client. So what if the software itself is buggy and it has loophole, then it is not a quality or a good software. Lots of people have put money for that. We have stakeholders. So what we are trying to understand here is that if we get immediate feedback from the team and stakeholders, we can rectify. The more initial stage we do this, it is better for we need not change any software which is accepted. So risk will be mitigated. By mitigated we mean reducing the severity of the application, more emphasis to requirement design and development. When we become security minded developer, we'll ask question, yeah, that's true. So whenever we are coding development, what is the first thing we think? How this can be done? Whatever feature we are implementing, suppose we are implementing first feature and we have implemented that, but along with that we should keep in mind that security should also be there. Now we feel, why security in development phase? We do not feel this one. Yeah, and we are getting the desired security. I'll share one incident, quick incident, which happened. It will be short. So what happened that in the initial time was working with PHP Laravel. So what we did there was, that time we weren't using Git, and we used to push code in uh, server in cPanel. So what happened that uh, our project was completely developed in local. There we used to we had XAMPP that created local server. So now complete development was done in local, end to end finished. Now we were deploying in the server. When we deployed in the server, cPanel, it is a good server. I say that, yeah, for PHP it is good server. We mostly compatible with PHP. So what we do, within 3 to 4 days, 5 days, what happened? Our servers, our application website was replaced by some other site. And how is it possible? Because there are lots of things. At that time we were aiming just to deliver things which was asked, but we didn't had security mind at that time. So our application was compromised. So in that point, the first time when we heard about SQL injection, and there are lots of things, our input parameters were not of that standard that they could write their own SQL injection, and they entered into a database, wiped the database. Yeah. So the takeaway from this is that whenever we are doing development, see, we keep doing lots of effort in coding, design, requirement stage, but if in the end our application will be compromised, then I think yeah, efforts will be down. So what our key takeaway from this is, we should develop required feature, and we should also keep security in mind, so that okay, this is not a good thing, this software is now compromised in the market, we should not use it. Okay, recently log4 was hacked, sorry, not hacked, security instruction came that log4j, you should not use this. We had security team, we used to receive in mails, no, we should not use this, this will be deprecated from this date, we should either update it or use some other software. Yeah, so this is one of the good practice. Hence we can provide more tangible feedback on code reviews. But the key point is, whenever, suppose we are trying, now suppose we have been given a document, now you have to create the software. So first thing what we should think is, what will be the risks when we are creating a software? It means we will be planning for the software will be used. Suppose technology will be JavaScript, server will be Heroku, or database will be PostgreSQL or MongoDB. So all this software, suppose we are using AWS, some service, some other service, so we will keep, okay, this one is intact, this one is intact, and we'll think about the risk, attacks, vulnerabilities, new strategies, new finding, and we'll plan meeting with the accordingly. Normally these are not done by developers, these are done by architects, because they initial stage they plan the architecture of the software we are doing, and in the review with the client and stakeholder, it is decided that this should be used or not. But this is very important, because if suppose we are using a software which is compromised in the later stage, last stage, suppose to 1 week after is a deadline, and we now know that this software is not safe to use, so our efforts will be compromised. The goal of the secure coding is not just about bytes. Normally when we code, we keep bytes in mind. We should not use extra variable, we should not write lengthy code. But yeah, if it is required, we should write, but minimum bytes we should use it. It's not just about bytes, it's about the overall culture we are trying to create. The environment, like the example we have seen in Laravel. Laravel is a good secure software. It's a technology, it's one of the latest technology in PHP. But the environment, the development was, the input endpoint was loose. They did their SQL injection thing and they entered into a database, wiped it. Yeah, that's all for this video, team. In the next article, we'll be exploring how we can document risk. So there are ways we can do it: risk number, test name. It will be a fun document. Yeah, thank you, team. Thank you for having me here. Bye. Yeah.